Hey, good looking hump day. It's 4 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to Island Tea. We are Island Tea. It's Jay Black and Jamster today. Content is off today. And we are here to set your day off, prime you for the day ahead. Don't forget, we're also live on TVC Channel 40 on the Cables TV network. So if you want to watch us on TV, if you have that kind of time, maybe you might be like a housewife or you're on vacation or
Well, you can't be a house husband.
Oh, those are very rare.
No, but we got to cover our bases on the media. Yes.
Well, you one of those, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna cover our bases.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, good morning, everybody. It's Jay Black here on Island Tea. Good morning. Good morning for those of you listening on the road. Those of you trying to get out the house. Those of you that are running late. Yes. I know you can get some breakfast still, but don't tell them Jay Black sent you. But anywho's, if you're on the road coming from the countryside, and that's on the western side, where you have to pass Ross, just be careful right there around there. There's some traffic congestion because of course, the routine stops for the crossing guard, and there's an inspection going on, just to make sure that your vehicle is not going against the law,
Like your license stop and everything.
Yeah, a license stop, and I think there's a speed gun too. So just be careful when you're going to cross there, because the traffic is a little bit congested. For those of you that are wondering, why is the road so congested this morning? So yes.
Okay. So how's it looking? You didn't come across the?
I did. I'm about to talk about it.
Up there? Okay,
well, the phase, the road construction phase up on the bypass, FD Williams Highway, and up on Monkey Hill area, new road going into Monkey Hill area. It's coming along quite nicely. The roundabout, they already started paving the roundabout, so that's actually exciting to see. That drive across there going from the roundabout to the gas station, it's smooth now. They're finished paving that, so it's no longer a dust cloud. You don't have to turn up your windows anymore. It's really smooth. I gotta admit. So, but still take your time. These guys are doing the construction. You don't want to have any accidents and delay the entire process, of course. Jamster, how was the walk this morning to the studio?
It's kind of hot even before I left home, I knew it was going to be a scorcher today because it was pretty hot.
Oh, yeah, it was really hot. I was sweating coming to work today.
Yeah. So you didn't drive?
I drove, yeah. But it was hot.
Also, you don't have AC?
I sometimes turn my windows down. I try to get,
and that vehicle is kind of big too. So
it depends on which one I drive, but
you have another one.
I kind of like to get fresh air sometimes. Okay. All AC ain't good all the time, but that's how I believe.
True,
I could be wrong.
I be driving with AC in the night and stuff.
Yeah, but I want to say good morning to a few of my listeners out there, my family, my friends. Special morning to Pavlona. I hope you're tuned in. Special good morning to my dad. I hope he's listening. I hope he listened yesterday too, because I'm gonna ask him some questions when I'm done. And to Kavita, oh my gosh, I'm sure she's listening out there somewhere. But oh boy, yeah. Good morning to my Aunt Sharon and a few other. Yeah, let me not call out everybody. I'm just trying to kill time before I hit the first topic this morning. A little juicy, Jamster, let me know when to start it off.
Yeah, kick it off.
Yeah, all right.
So
there was some talk about the CXC results and some allegations about the government not paying some fees and what's not. There was some buzz about it. And if you didn't know, then you know now. But I'm here to report that CXC released an official statement, right? I'm all for the hype. I'm all for the hot stories. We don't call it Island Tea, we call it hot water, because sometimes it's just crazy how these things start up. But anywho's, this is an article that was written by Keon Brown for WinFM. The Ministry of Education has responded to claims that the Caribbean Examinations Council withheld examination results due to the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis's non-payment. Right? The ministry stated that the Federation has maintained a record of timely payments for all fees and dues owed to CXC. So, in your face, yes, the government has been paying the fees, and CXC themselves said it. And on August 20th, the CXC officially released the results for the 2024 Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate and Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination to all participating territories, including St. Kitts and Nevis. Now, the ministry has acknowledged ongoing issues related to the ungraded subjects and requested public patience as these matters are addressed. Now, that is all that is being reported as of this moment. So, of course, the ministry and CXC is asking everyone to be patient, as, of course, they're addressing all the queries, just to make sure everybody's up to date and make sure everyone sets themselves straight for the oncoming semester. Well, which has unfortunately already started. So, yes.
And, based on what I was told, people, all this talk about, I think the question that should have been asked, if we were the only country that whose results hadn't been released yet.
Right.
And nowhere in the discourse was that mentioned. I was told that apparently we weren't the only ones.
Right, but
So-
this article does not explain that, because we don't want to necessarily call out any of the other
Exactly,
countries,
yeah.
and then we're on a discrimination or whatever it is. But yes, we're not the only country. We've gathered that much, so please, guys.
And they haven't given any reason why the results.
Well, I'm sure there are many
be so
reasons
late.
as to why some stuff haven't been graded yet. So there are a lot of moving parts, and with the moving parts, we don't understand. We have nothing to say towards that. We're up for the island tea. We're up. If y'all hear something, y'all can let us know. But Win FM, we here at Win FM do not indulge in spreading things based on speculation. We indulge and divulge based on the facts. Only the facts, and the facts only. So yeah, in y'all faces, y'all just like to talk, but yeah, we love it here, because we name Island Tea. So talk how you want. Call us, y'all. The lines are open. Jamster, tell me what's up, man.
Well, your friend is still
Who's my friend?
Trump.
Trump?
Yeah, still misbehaving.
That's my friend? I'm a competition that said your
Your
friend.
friend. Okay, your idol.
No, my idol. Me no analyze. No, man. You're crazy. No, Trump. Him or Trump. Here, Jamster. I like things that make sense. Okay?
And he makes sense.
If he makes sense,
Yeah.
we're more than Kamala at this point.
Really?
Yeah. Put the man in power. I wouldn't want Kamala running for the president, G. You're gonna make the viewers them strike up a whole riot in the comments though, in the jam stuff. They done telling me I don't make no sense and I out on a limb and all kind of things. But anywho, I appreciate all y'all for listening every morning. I don't care what y'all say. I love that y'all tune into Island Tea, because y'all ain't coming to hear me talk about Trump and Kamala, wherever it is. But we have a lot of interesting things in store. And we are working on getting some stuff done in regards to the new judicial system that has been addressed. We're going to get someone in to talk about that real soon, and we're going to let you know who and when. So stay tuned, please. So, yeah.
I mean, it's scary to think, the election is just, over 40 days away,
Right.
So it's just
Right.
over a month. That's crazy. I remember, back in February, saying, it's forever. Election is like an eternity away,
Right.
And now, here we are. And I honestly worry about the fact that I remember when Hillary Clinton ran in 2016. Not the most fuzzy and warm person. I'm not really a fan of hers, but I had wanted her to win. I actually thought she was going to win. And I'm wondering if...
Who?
Hillary Clinton.
You crazy?
Back in 2016.
You thought Hillary was going to win?
I thought she was going to win, yeah.
Why? I thought, you know what? I'll
No.
admit, I thought Hillary had a great standing, but Hillary just proved herself to be very emotionally irrational.
Really?
Yeah, through the emails and stuff like that. I'm like, what is this woman on?
But that's been one of the knocks against her, that she's too masculine.
I don't think that's the case.
And-
No, Hillary was a terrorist. Maybe
Yeah.
I can't support that thing there. Hillary had all the celebrities endorsing her and what's not, and I don't know if that was paid endorsements or whatever it is. But the man that won Hillary was the man that was saying, grab her by the, and I can't say that on the ear, but it speaks volumes that America chose that over somebody that was seemingly going to win. You don't think that speaks volumes?
Well,
And everything that he tried to prevent is now happening in this period, this time around. Don't you find that weird? Don't you find that weird?
I mean,
No, I don't know.
listen. I find it. What I find weird is that
Morning,
after
Jackie.
after all these years, Jackie, what's she saying?
She said even Trump was surprised he won. I think Trump just knew what he was doing, but it was just like,
Oh, morning, Jackie. Yeah. Okay. And good morning to Gwyneth. Yeah. So I find it interesting. So, and someone pointed this out the other night there, that America is a complicated country, because here's why. You've had all these other countries who you might perceive as, oh, maybe not so progressive and sort of even backward, and they've had female heads of state, even multiple female heads of state.
yeah.
And then the person also pointed out that as progressive as California is, and I was like, wow, that's true. So California has never had a female governor, which is interesting, because you would think the one state, because of how progressive the culture is over there, that they would, but they've never had a. So they were making a point that it's a very complex country, and which is why I worry about the polls, in the sense that one day we hear polls that, oh, they're tired, and listen, the other thing that kills me, there is no reason. I don't even understand why they're in the same neighborhood poll wise. The guy is clearly an idiot, a narcissist, and all sorts of other unsavory.
Which guy?
Trump.
Trump
All
is a
sorts of
narcissist.
other unsavory
White
descriptors.
supremacist as well? Would you say that?
Yes.
Interesting.
And the guy is within spitting distance. It shouldn't be. He should be polling like 10-15%, or maybe the 30% that the 30% of people that will not leave him regardless. It's just, and everyone always expresses amazement at that. How is this guy even competitive in the polls? I mean, you're seeing 47, 45, 48, 49, that kind of thing. I don't understand it. And then the people who said they're undecided, why are you undecided? 40 days. Today it makes 40 days from the election. Why are you
There's a lot of moving
undecided?
parts to consider.
Why are you undecided?
No, I'm not gonna refute the fact that there is some quote unquote white aspect in Trump's pollings, but you have to give the man merit that the fact that he has that many, and it's spread across all demographics, all races, as the Democrats would want to weaponize, that the guy's doing something, right? The results show, the stats are there for people to check, especially when that one night with the debate with he and Kamala, how the crowd responded. Here's another fun fact.
The debate, they didn't have an audience.
No, but they were running statistics still.
You're talking about the focus groups afterwards?
Yes. So, I find that these days in America, even when presented with facts, people don't care until it rear-ends them. That's a problem.
That
today.
is true.
That is a problem today. People
That is true.
here don't care about the facts. People go.
Hey,
Caller, we can't hear you.
caller, go ahead. Turn your radio down, please.
Yes, hello, good morning.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, all right. Well, I don't know why you're surprised that Trump is within striking distance of becoming president again.
Literally.
Okay? The fact is, it happened the first time. If there's a precedent, something is more likely to happen again. Because
and it's a woman again. So that's the thing. It's a woman again. That's the thing that's scary to me.
Well, that's scary. One of the elephants in the room.
Yes.
That people would not really want to talk about, okay, because it's obviously discriminatory.
And then she's a black woman again on top of that.
But it is a factor, okay? But apart from that, there are other things which contribute to the closeness of the election. The other elephant in the room is immigration. I think the Democrats underestimate how much the visceral reaction to the idea that the borders are unsafe, that people can just come across the border. I mean, just think of it. We would not tolerate it here, right? If we had what seems to be a mass of people coming across our borders. Why do you think Americans would tolerate it?
We would not tolerate it. We just talk. No, we don't do anything.
We would tolerate a trickle. We would tolerate a trickle. But we wouldn't tolerate what seems to be a mass.
But do you know for a fact that what's happening to us is a trickle or more than a trickle?
I don't think that's the point you make.
No, I know, but I mean, he's saying one of my key pushbacks is he's saying that we don't tolerate. I don't know. Christians tolerate everything.
No, but that's not the point, though.
Go ahead.
No. We don't tolerate everything. We tolerate it up to a point. When we push far enough, bet your life there's always pushback. I mean, I can give so many examples throughout our history, or short history. Okay, it might have a long fuse, but once it's lit, and once we've had enough, we do push back. But in this particular case, right, the narrative is, once you see the pictures of people streaming across the border, of caravans, as they call them, of people heading towards the border, and Mexico isn't doing anything really to stop them. People are going to react to that, okay? And worse, when the narrative is coming to take your jobs, that makes it worse. That's one of the reasons why I think he's doing well. He's not doing good with blacks overall, but he has a percentile of black people who will support him still, because they believe the narrative that these people come and take your jobs, they come and take and use money, they put them up in hotels, in hotel rooms while you're there on the streets fronting. People are going to react to that.
Yeah, okay? That's a bad look for sure.
It might sound underhand, it might be hitting below the belt and all of that, because I do think that they exaggerate the problem. Okay, America can absorb millions of people, and nothing, because that's one of the ways that they don't fall into the trap like Japan and Germany is doing, where they're tough on immigration, but then they have a problem with the Asian population and so on, and the Social Security and so on. Okay, they realize, because there are segments of America, including the corporations, who realize that this immigration is good. It's good for them. It keeps down. It spurs consumerism. It gives them cheaper labor. There's less pressure to raise wages and all of that. But you don't talk about it. But the good thing is, America do not like to see, the average American, even including people who have migrated there before, they don't like to see people just walking across and getting benefits, whereas they who did pursue the legal route,
right,
and they have to go through the system and not get any preferential treatment. They don't like that. I think Democrats should find a way to allay those fears. And this has been ongoing for a long time, From the time that the demographic studies showed that white people in America would be a minority in whatever year it is in the future. The setup took notice because, again, there's a visceral reaction to that. They don't want that to happen, okay? Even though they were migrants themselves, or their forefathers were. Okay, so I'm not surprised at all at the fact that the election is going to be so close. Donald Trump should not have been president in the first place. And what he did during that, because that's another narrative, that, well, people were better off when he was president. I don't think the Democrats have done a good enough job of showing how chaotic and disastrous his presidency was.
I think they're doing a very good job of showing how chaotic and how disastrous the presidency wasn't, because they keep trying to change the narrative. They always try to change the narrative. The Democrats are dangerous people. They always try to push what gets people upset. And I'll let you finish, Carla, because I'm about to divulge some more information on that.
Yeah. Okay. Well. I'm just saying that we should not be surprised about because of those reasons, and if the Democrats don't deal with those issues that people are kind of squeamish to talk about, right? I think we're in for a closer race than we think.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Great.
But just like how he said, Jams, though, I feel like America, there's a good percentage of America that is confused. And that is what the Democrats want, right? Where there's confusion, the Democrats are winning because they can take advantage of the chaos. Remember yesterday I spoke about that, the interviews with, different people about the eating the dogs, eating the cats thing. No, it's funny. Trump never said who was eating the dogs or eating the cats. He was just saying they, right? How is it that the Haitian Bridge Alliance is now filing criminal charges against Donald Trump and J.D. Vance in Springfield, Ohio?
Well, Vance actually admitted that he made it up just for, you could say, to make the narrative more spicy. He actually admitted that, basically.
No, the narrative is that the overall narrative is that people are coming into the United States illegally. Oh, we got a caller? Okay.
Caller, go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead, 827. Hey.
Just to touch a bit on this topic you all are having here. In 2020, not 2020, 2016, technically, Trump won the electoral college, but did not win the popular vote. The same thing again in subsequent elections. So technically, you can say majority of Americans did not want him. Okay, but that's just a caveat there in this conversation. The next thing, a lot of people here tend to follow just the mainstream media that's coming out of the U.S., the Fox, the CNN, the MSNBC, and so forth. And there's other avenues of getting information about pertinent issues pertaining to the elections. But as I said, people who don't really follow the politics tend to just rely on the hereby when, they're sitting on CNN or whoever is in the background, which they don't cover a lot of the issues, the real issues that people need to know about. There are other media houses that is not as powerful as, the top media houses out there that's, pushing out the information.
Unbiased.
That's one. The next thing is, what was my next point?
That was a very good point, actually, because I do.
The Trump?
No, about the exploring other news
Yeah,
sources,
you have to.
which
You
which I
can't
do,
rely on the mainstream
which I
news
certainly do.
sources.
I mean, some of
Yeah.
the news sites I read and so on, most people probably never heard of them.
Yeah, because like people say, oh, the New York Post this, the New York this, that. Some of the only thing. The next thing with the polls, we have to take polls with a grain of salt because
That is
a lot of
true.
people are not polled. It seems like the polling companies tend to go to a certain demographic, and it's just a
They have
sampling
they skew
of
the
what. There
polls
are a lot
all
of
the
people
time.
out
That is
there
correct.
who are suing that why I can't vote for such and such a candidate, but they would never tell anybody. There are a lot of Republicans out there who just are silent and say, man, they could either do one or two things: vote for Harris, or because they're true Republicans, they say, I cannot vote for Democrats, but I cannot vote for this man. So I will stay home. There's a lot of issues that they're tending with quietly. So I tend to take a lot of these polls with a grain of salt, either whether it's here or there. Because look, you could find polls that show President Trump up, former President Trump up, 10 points, 30 points, right? But you could also find other polls that are more in line to probably what the nation is feeling. So that's why you find on the platform, especially Democratic platform, they will tell their crowd and so forth and their supporters, do not follow the polls. Go and vote. Polls don't vote. And polls are just a snapshot of, a particular time in history, that moment, how you're feeling. Things can change. You have roughly 2 more months, well, technically another month before the election. And one more point, my last point before I go is that I agree that the Democrats do not hammer home a lot of the fault of the Republican Party and Trump. Okay, they're focusing on more the women's rights issue, which is a heavy issue that probably might carry them to victory, and a few other things. But I think Democrats will play too nice when it comes to elections. I guess they wanna, hold a certain standard, and that is what beats them a lot of the time. Okay, but anyway, I'll listen to it up.
Thanks, Carl.
Yeah,
I
that is
appreciate
true.
it. A lot, you see, you gotta call me controversial in here, but you see how much callers coming in with the facts. I want you to listen, Jamster. There may be some hope for you yet. If Catencia was here, but maybe Catencia would have been really not the place. But I like these calls this morning. I like.
Okay, I was gonna take a break, but we have another call coming in. Let's take it before.
Yeah,
we
let's
go to
take
the
this
break.
call. Yeah, caller, you on the air. Hi, caller.
Hi, good morning, Jamster. Good morning.
Hey, what's up, Jay Black?
J Black.
Jay. Sly J.
Hi, what's up?
I'm here.
Sly J. Wow, it's
I
expensive
don't
name.
know what.
You know who Sly J is,
I
right?
don't know what Jamster, the project 2025, and its content have on people's decision. But that one, some of the content, for instance, the educational aspect of the project 2025. We have seen some of it in Florida, where were Donald Trump to become the president again, he would initiate that project. And education, as we speak, is not right across the American spheres. But if you were to get a little bit of it, for instance, what Florida had attempted to do in terms of not wanting to allow some demographic history of the American history to be told in classes. And that is dangerous. But if I were to do a comparative analysis with the American election and the two political parties, it's like one coin, the flip side of the same coin to me. And there are some comparative analysis in terms of their economy, in terms of their philosophy, that we can bring it home to our local election. Because whereas it is said that the Trump will want to give tax break to the rich, as opposed to doing programs, finishing the border, the wall with the border, or whatsoever security on the border, and other things that would benefit the American public more so. No, it is the flip side. And if I was to bring it home to St. Kitts and Nevis, it is also the flip side with the two political parties. There are more political parties in St. Kitts and Nevis now. But let's say the two main political parties, because they are intergroups now. One of it
Just
is
a question, caller. This is just for me. What are the two main political parties right now in St. Kitts and Nevis?
They're not two main political parties anymore. But if you would go back a little bit, you would have really see where the contest was on St. Kitts. And their philosophy, okay? It seems like one would have give tax break to the wealthy, to well-to-do, and one would have been wanting to champion the cause of the ordinary. But it is the flip side now in St. Kitts and Nevis, where the one who would have given social programs, let's say, to the less fortunate.
Social programs.
It seems like they're the ones who is giving tax break to the rich and the famous. As certain things has been alleged on St. Kitts and Nevis. And if I could make a case, I'm talking about the southeastern peninsula and the tax break that they probably would have gotten over there, the Christopher Harbour, as it is alleged. As opposed to some people are crying out that they got wiped off of the social program for whatever reasons and for whatever reason. So you're seeing the flip side. And if you're going to go to a color code, the Republican Party wears red. Their color is red in America. And whose color is red here in St. Kitts and Nevis?
You tell me.
The one that is supposed to have been having social programs to benefit the ordinary, to bring them up to the middle class standard. No, but it is the flip side of all of this. So there's some comparative analysis that can be made. And even though when election comes, we concentrate on elections. But when the elections is over, there are other issues that we can discuss that some of us don't want to have a discussion about, because we just can't stay silent till the next 5 years, election cycle 5 year come along. So these are things that one will have to bring to the fore and to do the comparative analysis and to say, what is St. Kitts and Nevis Project 2025? Like the American Republican system will want to initiate that, which Trump has distanced himself from. And the J.D. Vance and the thing about eating the cats and the dogs, the pets, it came from J.D. Vance. It came from a Ku Klux Klan-like party, a radical extreme group that is in that area there. And then J.D. Vance took it up, and then Donald Trump is so. Even though he did not say the Haitians, we know who he meant. Thanks for listening.
Okay.
Thanks, Carla.
Okay, now is a good time to take a break. It's
take a break now?
8:38. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
On October 11th, join us at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort for Shades of Earth, Women in the Spotlight of Climate Change. From 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., experience a powerful evening that explores the link between the global climate crisis and gender-based violence. Hosted by Garden of Rebirth, an empowerment center for women, this event features survivor stories, scientific insights, and theatrical performances that highlight the challenges faced by women in the Caribbean. Your contributions will help to establish a new counseling center, offering support to those in need. Be part of this meaningful movement for change. Get your tickets now at Digital Print Plus on Princess Street, or Garden of Rebirth's Facebook page, or via Chat Cash. Let's make a difference together.
Buying your medication is easy with City Drug Store's curbside pickup. WhatsApp our certified pharmacist at 662-8769 with your requests. For prescriptions, take a clear photograph and send for review. We will engage you in dialogue and then provide a quotation and link for payment. You can then pay via TDC's online payment portal. And once the transaction is complete, you'll be notified that your pickup is ready. Yes, it's that easy. Send your WhatsApp message to 662-8769 to order your medications today with City Drug Store's curbside pickup service.
And we are back. It's 8:40, and saying special good morning to everyone listening. Hey, you were saying something?
I was not saying anything.
Oh, I saw you hold up your
spooks.
hold up my hand. No,
I was reaching for my leg and I was stretching my hand.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So there was this story. It's kind of long, but at the time I thought it was interesting about there's a hearing loss epidemic. That's going to be coming because of Apple's AirPods.
What epidemic?
Because I think I think a lot of people listen to music a lot louder than they need to, especially when you use those things because of the ear seal.
Right. I follow.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, it really doesn't need to be as loud as.
Yeah. Okay. So I saw that in passing somewhere. Tell me more.
Well, I haven't watched it yet, but I earmarked it for us to. You want to play a bit? Want to play a bit of it? You
can. We could discuss. Okay, for those of you who are strong.
We had a call coming. Call back. The call quick. They hung up because they heard me talking about this. Like, oh, maybe I should hang up because they're gonna do something else. No, call her. Come on, call us. Yeah.
Oh, somebody.
Yeah, they were calling.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm kind of half joking that they heard me talk about. Okay. So they're calling right now.
But yeah, for those of you that are avid Apple supporters, this one is for you. Y'all like to have the earpods and whatever it is. No, I'm not a fan of earbuds, right?
Yeah, neither am I.
I'm not a fan of earbuds. Since I was I was young or whatever, my mom always told me you're not supposed to have anything like that in your ear, right? It could directly damage your ear. And I've read some supporting articles that the headphones, the over-the-ear headphones,
is better.
Are much better, right? I also kind of didn't find any earbuds to match my ears because my ears are kind of small.
Yes, me too. I have the same problem.
Yeah?
Yes, absolutely.
But apparently you could change the tips.
Yeah, mine came with 5-6. I have some JBL ones.
Yeah. I had some Sennheiser ones.
Yeah, the Peak, JBL Peak in
right.
With the thing that goes over your ear. Because if I can't wear anything else, or they'll fall out. I don't know. My ears are really small.
Yeah. But I try. The only reason I would like to have earbuds is because I'm sometimes always on the road.
Yeah.
And I prefer to have the conversation right in my ear than to be driving and yelling over the phone. I'm like, I can't hear you because the road busy. Like I can't take on that. Yeah. So, but play the footage. Let's see what's going on.
Okay. I have to call her.
Call her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good morning.
J Black.
The great.
Hey, say, buddy.
The 3 J's. The 3 J's. The 3 J's.
I want to shout out my good brethren, Africa. Because he touched some points there where we ain't dealing, he didn't think it's on, And this is serious business,
Turn on your radio a little bit, Carlo. Turn on your radio a little bit.
Africa talk about the tax break with government who said it for poor people, give to the elite in the Southeast Peninsula. And up to now, we asking the Jewish Prime Minister, the Muslim Jewish Prime Minister, to give us an update on that. Because the former one been challenging them for this land and money from Denzel Douglas. the road, you know, J Black. We don't go out there this election, God willing. It's all the nonsense. Another thing I want to talk about is my good friend God. I want Jamster to play the apology to the country. The country needs it. The information should be out there. The man who walk in and can't home to hear these things, they should be able to hear the Attorney General apologizing for what he has said. We have serious problem in the country, and this ain't a German wine thing, you know. This ain't a German wine thing, because thinking people deserve good life. I always urge you, radio host, especially Jamster, because he got the board.
Yeah.
Jamster, you must play these tapes with whoever got you. All of what you talk about kicking in now, you know. And we were blindfolded by a lot of people who say the boy, because they don't want to hear his things. Please to play them, Jamster. The other Independence Saturday. The Saturday before Independence. I heard a tape. Man, he touched all the body parts in the body. Because he touched the young girls, them too, you know, the worry business, you know, like to take off on the way, you know. He touched all that. Have a good day. This is Jam Down talking. Healing and culture, the only two opposition in this country, and patches, three of us.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that, caller. We appreciate you calling in as always. He always comes with the hot water. It ain't flavored nothing. It's just hot water. I love that. But yeah, there seems to be some buzz about, you know, what's going on with the government and the economy and what's not. And, you know, we always try to, of course, get credible sources to divulge that information for the public, because we understand it's what people want to know, what people need to know. And yeah, we always try our best to stay on top of the island tea. Jamster.
Yeah.
You got the audio set up there?
I got the thing set up.
Okay, cool. Play the thing about the earbuds there. Let me hear you go on.
And well, there was a segment in this wherein there was a massive emphasis on hearing loss and preventive measures for it.
Today, we're introducing 3 major health features for AirPods Pro 2.
So there was also the mention of this study that apparently Apple commissioned along with the University of Michigan, and also this report by the World Health Organization as to how hearing loss is perhaps a silent epidemic that we don't really know about. And I think I have a guess as to who the culprit may be. The thing is, I use this for several hours in a day and I get those noise notifications much more than I would like. Now, Apple introduced this notification system a few years ago. I was much younger then. So is all of this presentation, all of the hearing things that they talked about. Is it really very serious? So in this video, I'm actually gonna try and figure out whether any of this actually really matters. Well, spoiler alert, it really does matter. That's a 1.1 billion with a B. I'm also going to figure out what causes hearing impairment, and what impact does it have, not just on an individual, but also on our society. And ultimately, we're also going to discuss what can we and the governments do to prevent this from becoming the next epidemic. Stay tuned and let's figure this out.
What's happening?
So let's start with the big document which is going to form the backbone of this video. This report by the World Health Organization on hearing clearly states that hearing loss is quite a prevalent problem. It says that across the globe, nearly 430 million people suffer from either moderate or higher grade hearing loss. Now, what really constitutes a moderate or a higher grade hearing loss? Well, for that we need to understand how a hearing test is done. So for the study, the hearing test was done as follows. You are supposed to hear a range of frequencies going from low to high at different volumes, from very quiet volumes to very loud volumes. And for each frequency tone that you listen to, which will probably sound something like this, each of that, you need to determine what's the lowest volume that you can hear that. So let's say this frequency of 250 hertz, you can hear it at about 20 dB, and then you do that again for the rest of the frequencies, and you create a plot for yourself. So this is what is called an audiogram. And through this, you can determine what is your hearing threshold. And by determining what your hearing threshold is, you can then really understand what level of hearing loss are you suffering from. If your threshold was about 20 dB, you have pretty normal hearing. But for moderate and higher grades of hearing, your threshold is much higher than 20 dB. This means that the test frequencies that you listen to were audible to you at a much higher loudness than somebody with a normal hearing. And as you can see, this does have quite a big impact on your daily life. But for me, what actually is already an epidemic is perhaps the mild hearing loss. The thing about moderate and severe hearing losses is the fact that it was once a very mild case of hearing loss. And you want to know how many people actually have a mild case of hearing loss? Nearly 1 billion people. Now this is what the actual epidemic is. 1.15 billion people have a mild grade hearing loss. So if people continue doing what they are doing, moderate and even severe hearing losses might not be that distant away. So coming back to this, why does this actually happen? Why do some people hear a certain frequency at a certain level and while the others hear it at a certain other level? Well, to answer that, we need to first understand how loud noises affect our ears. And for that, I tried to read this very technical paper, and this thing had very few images that I can really look at. So we might have to figure something out to make you understand how our ears work with loudness. This is what the ear looks like, by the way. Sound waves enter from here, obviously. What I really want to highlight is this part, which is called the cochlea. Called it the coochie for the first 5 minutes, by the way. And within this lies the receptors which send the signals to the brain that, yes, you're hearing something. Now, those receptors are called hair cells, and they look somewhat like this.
Okay, so I think we get the point.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I
'cause
think we got it.
This could have been a lot shorter. 15 minutes. It's 50 minutes. That's 4
I mean,
minutes.
of course, he's gonna go through the
Yeah,
whole thing as if
but,
like you're just hearing about this for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, during Carnival, I see people, with their heads stuck in the speakers, or
you see, that's one part of it, but these things, what he's saying is, usually when you have a prolonged exposure of this kind of music in your ear, it's going to age your ear faster because there are delicate mechanisms inside of your ear, that pretty much connect the sound to the nerve endings to the brain, and constant, I would say, friction, for lack of a better word, on these delicate mechanisms tend to have with constant pressure, it's gonna have irreversible damage over time. So by the time you're in your 50s, you almost can't hear anything. Now, I've had my days of sound engineering, and when you're mixing certain things, you have to tame the mix, right? So you're gonna be hearing blazing highs, roaring lows, and after a while, just trying to tame that, your ear becomes fatigued. Some people don't want to take a break from their headphones, right? Some people don't want to take a break from their earpods, and I could guarantee you, it's not every song and every single that's mixed properly. I remember back in the day, dancehall tracks used to have an insane amount of highs, and these things, Jamster, my voice sound beer. Run some music on it, my voice there now, please.
Oh, no. Turn it down because of the thing.
Yeah. Give me some, Ooh, that sounds spicy, yeah. All right, yeah. So, this is especially prevalent in the young people. When you're on the street and you're playing music really loud in your ear to say, y'all, trying to block out society or what's not, just turn down the volume a little bit, just for your safety.
Exactly. And people, it's important to know, when you wear those earpod things, earbuds, because of the nature of how they deliver sound to your ears, it doesn't need to be as loud. It can be much lower as far as the power output, and
Right.
it's going to be just as loud as if you're wearing headphones.
Right.
So I mean, because in my line of work, your line of work, I mean, this is something that would be important.
Yeah,
to us.
yeah. I make sure I get a
And
proper pair of headphones too.
I always cringe when I see people, that crazy stuff I see people doing during
I
carnival.
mean, by to each his own, eh?
Sticking
It's
their
convenient.
ears.
I could admit it's
Right
a little
up.
cute. You know, some girls like to be seen with the AirPods in their ears. You know,
Yeah.
it gets very demure, very modest.
I prefer headphones. Well, I mean, yeah, I do have some, I have some, but I got them because sometimes having headphones, you look silly in certain in certain contexts. You just look silly with headphones on your head, right? I have some some Bluetooth headphones at home that I can use. Even the Bluetooth thing, I'm kind of against from a sound quality standpoint. But you could put up with it for certain instances, kind of. Let me see. Let me go back to my lineup here. That was one of the things I had wanted to bring to thing, that hair loss thing. I thought was important. Here's something I think we should. Let me throw out this. I actually asked a few people this question last week, and I got varying answers. Most of the answers were essentially the same, but still varied. Was a story on Facebook last week which said low attendance at St. Kitts and Nevis in the Independence Parade signals discontent with PM Drew's leadership, says observers. So I sent it to a few people and I said, is this necessarily true? And I got some different takes, but most of them basically came down to the same thing, because someone was saying, well, in the past when things are good, whatever that means, people tend to really show up for the parade. But I said it's not necessary. So I brought up a point. I said I distinctly remember an election cycle when it was said, oh, don't necessarily look at this low attendance at the meeting, because people are watching or listening online, right?
Yeah,
they're watching on YouTube. So I said, well, couldn't this apply here? They said, what did they say? They said, well, it's not quite the same. Right. So what do you, I would like to hear what people think about this. I don't know. I thought it was an interesting take on the whole thing, What do you think?
No comment on that one, dear.
No comment.
Okay.
No comment. I just thought it was interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah. Because politics is like this. It's like walking. It's like when you talk about politics, it's like you have a grenade in your hand with the pin out, and you don't dare drop it, or well, no, you dare not take the pin out.
Well, democracy is a beautiful thing. Now my issue with politics is simply this: if you have something to say, I feel like a public platform may not be the best place to say it, because I feel like everybody's looking for their 15 seconds of fame. And quite honest, I wish I could delete my Facebook, because the things I see on there, it's like, what? I feel like, of course, there is some merit in having some stuff posted on Facebook, but to literally come on there to belittle and demoralize and just as the some people would say, it would just depress you just listening to some of the stuff that people try to get hype off of.
Now the thing we're gonna maybe touch on after Farm Report is this story. It was touched on the Win FM News last week. The Director of Public Prosecution's Office announced today that it will be launching. That was this story is from September 20th.
Yeah.
I actually sent this in the chat, but I guess you know how it is when you send stuff in the chat and a day later you're like, where is that thing I sent? announced that they were launching a formal investigation into the administration of the Citizenship by Investment program prior to the significant reforms implemented by the current federal administration. So this is something I probably want to take a look at, because what I found intriguing about this is who would have precipitated the DPP's action in this case. I just found it very curious, because when you consider that, I find our government culture and system doesn't seem to respond well to, let's say, self-critique. Let me put it that way, or self-policing, that kind of thing. So I was just interested as to why the DPP is doing this and what precipitated that. If this was done on his own initiative, or I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting question. So it's probably something we could look at when we come back. So it's 9 o'clock. We have farm report coming up, and we have the farmer here. He's gonna be coming over there in a bit. So let's get some quick words, and we have farm report coming up next.
Boom.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9 Win FM.
At Dental Beginnings, where it all begins with your smile, we provide quality dental care, catering to the needs of the whole family, where gentleness is our specialty and attention to detail is paramount. We offer cleanings, fillings, crown and bridge, root canals, extractions, digital x-rays, and sealants. Dental Beginnings, located at Victoria Road, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Call us at 869-668-1955 or 869-465-1951. Email us at dentalbeginnings@gmail.com or visit our Facebook page. Dental Beginnings. It all begins with a smile.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
9:02, and it's time for Farm Report. Mr. Stevens, how you doing?
I'm good.
Okay. What's on the agenda today?
Well, I just come to bring some updates, you know what I mean? Some upcoming events and activities, you know what I mean, that will be happening, hosted by the farming community. So,
yeah.
So I'm here to report.
Why? We have a new station, so let's report.
Give thanks. One of the reasons I'm here today is to start the promotion of the Sandy Point Agricultural Cooperative's annual World Food Day, Food Fair and Agricultural Exhibition. We have been doing this for quite a time now. This year, again, it's going to be our third year at the Eco Park.
Okay.
It's been a nice feat at the Eco Parks thus far. And with the introduction of the high school cooking competition, that has brought some interest.
Yeah, that happened last year?
That happened last year in the past 2 years. The first year we had the sweet potato cook-off, where the child emails won that.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year we had...
Sunny Point win that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Last year we had rabbit as the highlight.
What?
And we had the Bastyr High School taking the championship. This year, for the third year, we want to do it a bit different. So we're taking it to another level where we want to do somewhat of a chopped challenge.
Say it again.
A chopped challenge. For those who watch the cooking channel, they have a show they call Chop.
Oh, okay, like with knives.
Where they have some mystery ingredients in the basket, and you have to prepare a meal and incorporate those ingredients.
Yeah, so it's almost like impromptu. Like on the spot. Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So this year, The children will have to prepare 3 things: a beverage, an entree, and an appetizer.
You know what? No, you said it. I think I did attend that one of those at the Eco Park, and there was like.
Oh, it was the Eco Park last year?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's always the
I
Eco
think
Park.
you all did mention it last year, no?
Yes.
That because
they
the
bake
rabbit
and
thing,
stuff like that, and all of them have stations with like a stove and some running water and stuff like that. Yeah, man, it's an interesting thing. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yes,
I've been to one. Yeah.
Yeah, so this year we want to add that little bit of surprise element there, suspense. So at the event, we are going to reveal. We have that big reveal of the mystery ingredients.
Okay.
That the students will have to use.
When is this happening? When is all this
happening? It's happening on the 12th of October.
The 12th of October.
Yeah, starting at 12 p.m. The cook-off actually starts from 1:30.
Okay.
But gates open at 12.
But the cook-off is the main thing?
No, the cook-off is one of the major highlights.
Okay, but there are other things happening.
Yeah, it's similar to an agricultural open day.
Oh, okay.
Where we have the animal section, we have different vendors,
yeah,
we have different food,
okay,
and we have different things happening in agriculture and display.
So it's an open day.
It's like an open day, but it just happens at World Food Day time, which is the 16th of October. But we're having it on the Saturday.
That's dope.
I mean? So we're inviting everyone to come out Saturday, the 12th of October, Eco Park from 12 p.m. It's gonna be an awesome competition with the cooking and the exhibits and everything else. It's just going to be awesome. Eco Park is a nice place for those who have never been there. We're inviting you to come on out. It's only $5 for adults. Children under 12, you're getting free. Right? Entertainment will be there. You got Unstoppable Sound, DJ Kotai, and Explosive Band. Also, I wanted to share on the 29th, that's this coming Sunday, the Gideon Force Organic Cooperative, they will be having their 3rd installment of the organic market, and it's going to be at Phillips Botanical Gardens in Tabernacle. That's on the main road right next to the cemetery. If you're coming from Sadler's, it's after the cemetery. If you're coming from the other side, it's as you come around the corner past the basketball court and the left side.
A question: who is the Gideon Force?
So wait, you have to go up into Tabernacle though?
No, it's on the main road. It's on the main road. If you're coming from Sadler's, it's on the left side with the cemetery. Right after you pass the cemetery, it's that tree vegetative area. We have the flags and we have the signage.
Oh, okay.
It's that vegetative area right after you pass the cemetery.
Who is the Gideon Force?
Gideon Force is the farmers located down in Old Road. Up above the school road, the high school road, they have an organic farm down there where they do vegetables, herbs, and that sort of stuff organically.
Okay.
Yeah, so they have an organic market where they invite different vendors to come and sell, and they do a little talent expo, where they engage the youths and different artists around to promote agriculture.
Just for the benefit of the listeners, could you be a little more specific as to what makes this stuff organic?
Organic, yeah. What does organic mean?
Organic is basically farming without the use of synthetic chemicals and fertilizers. So basically you resort to more natural means of controlling your pests and fertilizing your plants, like we all know. The use of manure, you allow it to dry, and then you incorporate it in the soil. You know what I mean? Also, the composting, where you allow the vegetation, the leaves, and other things to decompose, as we would say, and you also incorporate that into your soil, which adds nutrients, helps to hold water, and so forth. So that's what they do. They try to go the route of not using the chemical, whereas another traditional farmer may use the synthetic chemicals to control the weeds because his scale of operation may be bigger.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he doesn't have the labor force to assist him in terms of weed control and so forth.
So what exactly would they be using on the natural tip for
one of the more common things that we know is the neem,
The neem bush, yeah.
Yeah,
oil,
if you
yeah.
watch a neem tree, you don't really see nothing at all.
Yeah, that is
eating,
true. That is true.
You know what I mean? Versus other trees.
There are a lot of neem trees around.
You know what I mean? So the neem is when you soak it and you apply that. Some people use vinegar, baking soda, salt. You know what I mean? Different mixtures, hot sauce.
Yeah, I heard people use like hot pepper too.
Yeah,
Hot
soak
pepper, to get rid of the pests.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's a thing.
That heat.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But from a nutrition standpoint for the plants now, what are you using? You guys do guano and stuff like that? You guys go maybe the CCI collect bird, you know.
Well,
what do you guys do for?
Different persons incorporate different manures. Some persons use the bird, some people use the rabbit, some people use the sheep, the goat. You know what I mean? So it's up to you what you have available to you. You know what I mean? If you have a donkey nearby, you get the donkey.
Right.
You allow it to break down.
Right.
You know what I mean? You could incorporate some leaves, some vegetable peelings, and all
Yeah,
that.
compost, stuff like that, yeah.
So that's the organic side. It's a little more tedious.
Labor intensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So by the end of that, this stuff is maybe a little more expensive?
To an extent.
Okay.
Depends on where you're sourcing it from.
Depends on where you're getting it from. But certain persons don't know the difference.
No, I'm talking about you guys now.
Food,
yeah.
But sometimes the farmers would, want to ask for a higher price because technically it's more healthy. You know what I mean?
And it's probably more work to go that route, right?
Yeah. So, but that's them. So their farm is open to the general public on a daily basis. They also sell lunch and burgers there, so you could go there and have lunch.
Wow.
During the week.
It's like local beef?
No meat.
Oh, no meat.
No
Okay.
meat. It's organic and
Right.
strictly
Here's vegan force.
Organic, strictly vegan.
Vegan force, but
they have animals, but the animals is for the manure. The animals help to control the grass, like lawnmowers. You know what I mean? So, they're there. Check them out. It's a nice, very nice place. It's very therapeutical. You know what I mean? To walk through the naturalness, the trees, the ambience, the way they have it laid out.
So you guys get the tour drivers.
They have certain things happening going on there, but individually as locals, you could always visit the farm anytime and do a tour.
That's good to know.
You know what I mean? Sample the food, patronize, buy
They
vegetables.
open Saturdays by any chance?
Yeah, they have gathering on Saturdays. They have a spiritual body that they do Sabbath gatherings on Saturdays on the farm from about 3 in the afternoon. So you could always go through and be a part of that as well.
For those of you that are just logging in, we have Mr. Stevens in the studio talking about an open day. Tell me the name of the event one more time.
The Sandy Point Agricultural Cooperatives World Food Day, Food Fair and Agricultural Competition. And it's now turning into be the high school cook-off, which is one of the newly added highlights of it. There's also going to be a rabbit festival as well.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So all things rabbit will be there. We're supposed to be having the Capistier Fishermen with their shark products and thing. We're supposed to be having a lunch. Shark products. You know, the Capistier big with the shark festival over here.
No, I didn't know about that.
No? You didn't know?
That's a big thing.
You're missing
Tell
out,
me,
man.
shark and bacon stuff like that?
Yeah, man.
These men don't fish for sharks and so like they like a shark.
Big shark thing, man.
Big shark competition and so.
The
These
thing
men
is,
be spearing dog sharks.
I didn't know, but you know the thing
They
is,
had it just the other day in July.
a few years ago, I bought some shark meat, and it has this weird smell. And the funny thing is, I remember buying shark before that, and it didn't have that smell. And when I went to him, I took it back. I said, "Why does it smell like that?"
Because it's fish.
No, but you have to remember too, it's at the top of the food chain.
Yeah.
So
the meat is gonna be tough as well.
Well, I don't know about that, but
what do you mean?
I remember buying it before, and I don't remember it smelling like that. Maybe it could have been a young.
Did you buy it raw or did you buy
No, raw. It was raw. Yeah, from the Fisheries Complex. And I took it. I was like, this smells terrible. And you have no. Let me just hear me out. It's at the top of the food. It's at the top of the food chain, right? So what happens is a lot of this stuff comes up the food chain that the other fish eat, all the crap. Let me say crap, good and bad. So I was wondering if that's one of the reasons why it smells like that. So
Well, there's a thing with fish.
are you
too,
guys sure?
right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, for example, with the barracuda in particular, right? They tend to say depends on where you catch it.
Yes.
It could be poison, right?
Yeah, I've heard that.
So maybe with the shark, maybe where they caught it, or the time they caught it.
Has there ever been a case of fish poisoning from shark?
Not
that
to
you
my
know?
knowledge.
I mean, every sort of food has some poisoning aspect to it once you don't prepare it properly, if you leave it there for too long, if you don't store it
No, but
properly.
it goes beyond that because, like he just said, it goes to diet. No, this is an apex predator. They're eating everything else in the sea.
Mhm.
So
And left crab bag
things, for
and
example,
lobsters?
like they're not ape. They're at the bottom.
Did they eat the garbage in the ocean, G?
Yeah, but they're not at the top of the food chain though.
I know this.
But what I'm saying is, that's what you have mercury being concentrated in them because you know about that and so that's what I was.
So I can't say what you experience, but they say sometimes depends on where it is caught and certain things like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Because even with the barracuda, it would smell different. So you know it poison. Sometimes it has a scent to it. So.
Okay, because I knew I bought shark before and it didn't smell like that. I was wondering, but then since then I've had and it smelled the same way. So I said it's weird, but anyway.
Yeah. So just to finish up on the organic market, it's at Ras Phillips Botanical Garden, Main Road, Tabernacle, from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. So go on out and see the organic produce, food and drinks, plants, kosher items, natural body care products, agro-processed items, and more. Right? Poetry, speeches, performances, games, drumming. All right? So that's this coming Sunday at Tabernacle. The World Food Fair is October 12th, Eco Park.
Tell me what's happening on Sunday
Food
again.
Day, okay.
Tell me what's happening on Sunday.
On Sunday, we got the Gideon Force Organic Farm.
Okay, so that's as before. All
That's
right.
organic market at Tabernacle.
It sounds like he's coming,
29th. Yeah, man. Don't
Let
miss
me tell
it.
you something. He know me before I was a photographer. I used
these
to
are good
deal with
thing.
this man in agriculture. So
This
like
is a good thing.
Yeah. I know what's
Right?
going on. Like
Right?
I know I've been to these farms already. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right. So
should
the
take
other
a
things
drive
I
down
want
there.
to share to on the consortium side, there's going to be a general meeting tomorrow evening 7:00 at the usual meeting place in Parsons Ground. So we just want to encourage
Where
all
Parsons
the fam-
Ground?
Parsons Ground at the community center.
Okay, cool.
On the main road.
On the main road. Okay.
So that's
Humble did
tomorrow.
mention that last week.
Yes,
Yeah.
7:00.
Yeah.
So that would be a general meeting. So we're encouraging the members, non-members, farmers in general to come out. A lot of updates. The upcoming planting season is upon us. You know what I mean? The weather kind of hot, but we know we're moving into the shorter days, the cooler nights. So this is where we usually produce most of our food. We get most of the rainfall. So the planting program is about to start. So we're encouraging farmers to come out and hear what is up and get in tune, get on board. Also, what else? What else I forget? I won't forget nothing.
Let me ask you in the meantime.
I was gonna ask too.
Yeah, go ahead.
I wanna get an update. Humble mentioned last week that you guys got a wide. There were some trees distributed, some avocado trees. Y'all bought them at like $36 a tree.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Well, that went well. The trees were received.
Right.
And have been
How many trees were it
distributed.
again? What was it again?
I think
It's in the
it was
thousands,
just
huh?
No, I think it was just over 200 and something trees.
200
Okay.
and something trees. Okay.
Yeah.
At $36
So I was
a tree.
thinking about the
Yeah.
pineapple.
No. We don't get to pineapples. them
So
just
the
now.
avocados were received and they have been distributed.
Okay.
And that is a part of the overall orchard establishment.
Right.
Because we realized too, avocados, as much as we have avocado trees on the island, importation of avocados still happens.
Right. It's still too high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we need more, technically,
Right.
because we consume it.
Right.
You know what I mean? People don't grieve when they come and they can't get a ripe avocado. They don't want to buy it green, even though it's there and you can put it down. You know what I mean? They prefer. So it's just to have it and to ensure that we have a supply.
So you
know
think
what I mean?
you think the 200 trees would provide a year-round supply?
No, it's a step. It's an addition to
So it's
what
a
is
jump start.
already on the landscape.
Let me ask you a question.
I understand they're supposed to be
Yeah.
grafted.
Oh, so
that
they'll
means
start
they
bearing
should
quick.
be producing in probably 2 to 3 years based on the management.
Got you.
Where can we buy them if we're interested?
I think they were acquired through Tropical Blossom Nurseries from Nevis.
Okay, so we have to get them from Nevis.
Yeah, well,
The
it's
trees you're talking about,
interesting.
Jamson?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
So they still have more selling?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I just want to give a shout out to Tropical Blossom in Nevis.
Love avocado, man.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
a really
Avocado make me
good
laugh,
nursery. We
man.
got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of good stuff. So, anybody looking for plants, orchids, anthuriums, fruit trees, ornamentals, yeah, Tropical Blossom. So,
Man,
give
they got
thanks.
free plug on Win FM.
Yeah. So, I'm going to look for my commission, you know. Anyways, so back to the business. So, that's that. The planting season coming up. You mentioned the pineapples.
The pineapples.
No, I was just
the
saying that.
department did receive a shipment of pineapples.
Yeah, and I heard that one
yeah.
was on the way, correct?
And there should be another shipment on the way. Right?
Is there a particular location that pineapples grow better or anything? I was wondering where.
Not really anywhere in the country.
Okay.
It's a kind of tropical thing. It doesn't really need much water, so to speak, but all plants need water. So even in the absence of daily irrigation, it still would survive.
Wait,
and do what it has to do.
botanically, pineapple is a cactus, right?
Yes, technically.
That just occurred to me.
Yeah, so even without watering it every day, it still would survive and do what it does. So
That's weird, huh? Cactus.
So that's an initiative there to help
Cactus
boost the pineapple production. Pineapple is another thing that we consume a lot of. We could never get enough of pineapples. So that first batch has came already.
Somebody
already
was
been
excited the
distributed.
last time we were here talking
Right?
about pineapples and how
And-
good for the woman them.
Yeah, and the next batch
Yeah,
should be coming
yeah.
this
Yum.
week, if not next week.
Yum,
Right?
yum. Anyway, call.
Yes, good morning again. We poor people in this country want to know why is it when donors abroad send plants to the country, they stop in the agriculture and rotten, stay in containers and give out to people and sell to people. Good morning, Banky. Keep up the good work. I just hear me brethren here shouting you. This is Jam Down Banky. Keep up the good work. You got to feed the people and toil the soil. Farmer, you have to give us an update on that. We want to know, and it's happening over and over and over. Just like containers in hurricane, the gangster them leave the stuff them up in the army. Joy rotten, food and tarpaulin we should get to poor people's stuff. It's a practice, and we're going to beat it out, you know. We're going to bang it out and wash it out. Clear up the man culture.
Yeah, man, big up yourself.
You call you Banky?
I guess he familiar with Banky, you know?
Okay.
Let me ask you a question. So, I think we haven't seen you much of the year, but how has the year been for you in terms of your output and maybe
Well,
the balance of
personally, as a
challenges
farmer,
versus?
it's been rough. One of the major challenges still continue to be land preparation. You know what I mean?
Tell me more. Why?
Well, a lot of the machines that the 1 and 2 farmers may have in terms of tractors are not the newest. You know what I mean? And you know, old things require a
More
lot of
maintenance,
repairing
high
and a lot of
maintenance, yeah.
So the volume of tractors available to the sector is an issue. Even at the department is one of the major providers of land preparation. And
Which
it's
department?
a challenge, the Department of Agriculture.
Why are they the... why?
There are a few private persons, but persons tend to stick with the government. The government in general around in all sectors, their prices are usually the lowest, are the more affordable.
What do you mean the land preparation?
Land preparation, tractor services, the tractor coming to prepare the land so you can plant your food.
Like plowing and stuff.
So you're saying that the department has more of the machinery?
Yeah, they are the major providers of this.
So it's a service.
Yeah, it's a service.
There
are a few private operators as well.
Right.
But what we are saying, their machines are not as new, and they tend to break down fast.
Right.
And yeah, it's a real tedious thing, even for the man to prepare his land personally, make the beds and so forth is tedious.
Right.
And even for the machines, it's tedious. So that too will break down. But what I'm saying, the availability.
You have a call, but I want you to think about a solution, a suggested solution for that when we come back. Caller, go ahead.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Church.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
And good morning to the individual in the studio.
J Black.
DJ Black.
J Black, yeah.
This is a farmer.
Bless up, farmer.
I am a farmer. Speaking about people starting the planting year. At this present time, I took on a video of my nursery that's at my brother's place, which should have never been happening when I got my own farm. When you have to look back, talking about the difficulties with farmers, until I something, I hear some statistics with Edinburgh yesterday with crime and all of that on the next radio station. But one of that most important statistics that he never did release was the white collar crimes. And them said white collar crimes. Yeah, the song that Sparrow is saying, when would someone become a real good citizen? At the end of it, they got the law to protect them same time. I'm talking about the Minister of Agriculture and his permanent secretary. How could my farm, a bulldozer was sent from Agriculture Department sent the bulldozer on my farm December of last year. The man, I done had to appall over 5,000 seedlings. As our next set of seedlings come in, but the man, when you look at it, right, how could I take a man who went to university to study agricultural science, university students, working up agriculture department, they take him from there to go watch the seawater, put him in the office to go watch the seawater. I'm talking about Kyle Flanders. By the man, tomorrow will be a difference. Goodbye.
Thank you, caller.
I was about to ask the caller to tell us exactly what the bulldozer did on his farm. It was unclear, but okay. Okay, it's 9:26.
Yeah, yeah, the land preparation situation. That's something that really need to be addressed. More tractors, the type of tractors, these things need to be
and the attachments as well.
Yeah, we had a lot of tractors in SSMC time. They used to power a lot of land.
So where are they now?
That's a question that is being asked. You know what I mean?
Well, a lot of things would have been out of commission since the industry kind of went down and whatever it is. And it would make sense to maintain them after the industry went down. So I was wondering if I know some people would have bought some
persons would have bought tractors. Yeah,
which are who are providing the private services now, right?
Some
okay.
persons would have gone and bought new tractors.
Right.
To try and provide the service.
Right.
But nonetheless, the wear and tear, the volume of lands that are under cultivation now, right, requires tractors to be stationed in an area.
So what you're saying is there's a need for that.
There's a need for that. You know what I mean?
What about mechanics?
Well, that also is a need in every sector in the country, even basic vehicles. A lot of persons say that they are mechanics and you carry your vehicle there and it's there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks for some simple things and things like that. Another issue is also the availability of the parts and so forth. And then when you go and you import the part, there's no real concession on the part. You see what I'm saying? You may get a concession on the tractor itself completely.
Right, but
when you have parts to repair now, you may not get that concession.
But I don't understand that after all this time, why...
it's still challenging, you know what I mean? For example, the farmers are saying, if the government is saying that farming and farm inputs are duty free, so to speak, right? why is it then a farmer still would have to go and apply for the concession to acquire for it to be done? It should be straightforward. For example, they're giving out a farmer's ID.
Right.
If you have a farmer's ID that is distributed by the government, the department, you should be able to go to the port and present that ID, and whatever duties are allocated to the farmer be worked out, not that you still have to go and apply to the department for that to go through the ministry, to go to finance for approval for that concession. That is like, that's time wasting. This is where I'm coming from, because sometimes you don't get back no word, you know what I mean, you're waiting.
I still don't understand. I still don't understand where if you get a tractor that's supposedly duty free and you have a part that needs replacing, that
it's not.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
Well, there is some question there. There's some question there, but you know, it's yeah.
And then the thing that bugs me. We have to wrap up now. The thing that bugs me is that when you look at the subsidies and so that governments provide in the U.S. and those big countries for farmers, it's off the chain, and it's like the government begrudges the little farming industry we have and the farming collective. It's like they begrudge them the little things. They have to be even. I wouldn't
necessarily say that.
Well, I have to say that.
I wouldn't necessarily say that.
Well, I'm saying that.
Well,
I'm sure there's a lot of moving parts to consider.
We're just saying that we ain't getting the love that other sectors and other ministries receiving.
Because listen, you have to remember that people
complain. To be something that is critical and crucial.
Exactly, and people complain. We don't have, and we don't have the economies of scale, right?
Right.
So people always complain that the local stuff is, of course, it's going to be more expensive because one, the economies of scale are so much larger in those other countries, and they have subsidies on top of that.
And I tell people too, one of the reasons too is because the farmer is not in a position to get his entire crop sold. Whereas in the US and those places, you plant a crop and you already know what you're getting paid for it, so you know your focus is basically production, volume, because once you bring it in, they're going to pay you for it. But here is it where a farmer would plant, let's say 1,000 heads tomato, where he may get 5 pounds per plant. So that's almost 5,000 pounds of tomato, which the country would consume about 5,000 pounds of tomato within a month. You see what I'm saying? But he may not be the only farmer with tomato at that time. So it may be difficult for him to move that 5,000 pounds in that 1 month because he has other persons. But then storage becomes a problem. Where could we store that?
But then we also have to look at the other avenues, like maybe export, however small that is.
That is also, but we cannot export off of an out of the blue surplus.
True.
Because we may have 20,000 pounds this week.
It has to be a regular.
Some going to spoil, some will be consumed, some will be given away to try avoid the wastage. So when we make a shipment and the person gets a market and that shipment done in 2 weeks and they want the next one,
you're supposed to be able to provide that.
To be able, so we need that regularized, organized planting to do that. But land preparation
is
an issue. Because even when a farmer has his plan and he say, well, I'm going to plant 3 crops of tomato or 3 crops of sweet potato, and he pays his money today, he doesn't know when he's going to get the tractor.
And this is not just talking about the department, but from anywhere.
Even with the private man sometimes, but sometimes a private man could guarantee you he gonna come at a particular time because he know well he only limited to so much persons.
No,
you know what I mean.
I wanna interject a little bit. No, the thing is about it, right? Sometimes I understand completely what you're saying, and I understand that there's a need for the agriculture segment to have some kind of stimulation for it to be a little bit more fruitful. Now, some people might digress that they don't necessarily want to have to depend on government so often, when it comes to what their hard work, what they produce and what's not, right? Now, people say, well, the government got too much hand in things. Like, just usually, not this particular government, but over time you hear people say, yeah, some things the government shouldn't have a hand in. And right. I can agree, right? Because then, it kind of takes away the free will a little bit. And then, it's just one person in control. You don't necessarily want that. And I'm sure anybody from the government is listening to me in some regard and agrees with me in some regard. So, I can agree that, I feel like when it comes to facilitating, like, for example, the duty-free thing, that is where the government can step in and give a hand up for these types of situations. And I'm sure there is some, I understand that you are saying that, well, 1 + 1 = 2. If the tractor should be duty-free, then the pass should be duty-free too. I agree, right? Now, I don't know what are the inner workings of, getting these processes and documentations in place for these things to be given some kind of concession. But,
well, in my observation, right? Farmers are independent businessmen, right?
Right.
And the government's responsibility is food security.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
That's the government's responsibility. However, the farmers take it upon themselves to assist in that regard.
But that's a part of a country.
As a part of it,
yeah,
right?
That's a part of the country, yeah.
The government injects resources into the farming community.
Yeah?
Freely.
Really?
Yes.
How often?
On a yearly basis.
Okay.
Right? I am one who feel as a farmer that it is not enough. Right? But what happens though, the farming community needs to step up and be more responsible, be more organized, because there's strength in numbers, right? We are the ones in the field doing the physical work. So whatever the government's vision is, they need us as the farmers to execute it, right? Hence, there must be that level of communication where I can suggest based on experience.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You as the government having resources and knowing how things work, you can also suggest this could work, I could do this versus that. But the farming community who is doing the work must have a say. They must be a part of the discussion, and I find that is the major disconnect.
I understand that.
That's what I'm saying. But
as
government does, and the farming community does, but there must be that mutual understanding between both parties that this is where we want to go. And to get there, you would have to do, and I would have to do.
Okay.
You can't expect me to do without your support.
Okay, guys, we have to leave it there.
Give him one more thing to plug the two events.
Go ahead. Quick.
Yeah, so just before I go, Sunday coming, Gideon Force Organic Farm, third installment of the organic market for this year. It's going to be at Phillips Botanical Garden and the main road in Tabernacle. And Saturday, the 12th of October, Sparks annual World Food Day, Food Fair and Agricultural Exhibition happening at the Eco Park from 12 p.m. Cook-off starts at 1:30. So I'll be back again to share some more insight as to this activity and further things. So give thanks for the time. Yeah, everybody.
Every time. Okay. Okay, 9:38. Island Tea continues. We're going to take a quick break and come back and shoot the breeze some more.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Rhymes the good food people always there to serve you. Rhymes the good food people. original taste. Stone ginger wine will never fade away. The wine for me and the next generation.
A legacy lasts forever. The original ginger wine, established in 1740. Stone's ginger wine.
Pour me out some Stone ginger wine for me. The wine for me and the next generation.
Live your legacy responsibly with Stone's.
Hey, 20 minutes until 9 o'clock. We just had a very interesting farm report. So we are back, and it's Wednesday, September 25th. So don't forget, take note of those dates that were mentioned by the farmer, Mr. Stevens. Now, we talked a little earlier. We were talking a little bit earlier about the story concerning the CIB and the DPP filing, or the DPP opening an investigation into that and so on. So I would love to hear from the callers why they think this is going on. Maybe I should read the article. And this is actually from SKNIS, all right? So this is actually so it says DPP to launch. This is being covered in the news already, but it bears discussion. DPP to launch investigation into previous irregularities in CBI program. Inquiry will focus on activities predating recent reforms. So the DPPO, that's the Director of Public Prosecution's Office, emphasized the importance of ensuring a fair and independent inquiry, particularly in light of the potential political implications of the investigation. The DPPO has received assurances from the federal administration that they will fully support an independent and impartial process allowing the investigation to proceed. The DPPO plans to appoint a special prosecutor from a foreign jurisdiction to lead the inquiry, with the assistance of a team of outside investigators. At least one local investigator in whom the DPPO has full confidence will also be part of the investigative team to ensure collaboration and local oversight. The Citizenship by Investment program, established as the oldest of its kind globally, allows individuals to obtain citizenship through significant financial contributions or investments in government-approved real estate or development projects. Currently, the program requires a minimum donation of $250,000 or a minimum investment of $400,000. In recent years, concerns have been raised about the administration of the program prior to the recent reforms, including issues of underselling citizenships, transparency, and financial accountability. So that's what. So we'll see where this leads, and it would be nice to get some comments from people on that. This was covered on the WinFM News. You can go to our website and you can read about the story that was written by Kevin Brown a few days ago. In the comments, respect to the farmers and the consortium in their efforts to make a difference in the Federation. It says Rastafari guide and I take your progress. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it comes from a good place. Okay, so Okay, I got another comment here concerning the farmer. Excellent conversation. He's also very knowledgeable and well spoken. And continuing, since they say prior to the new reforms, it means they are excluding Drew's involvement at all, which to me says they are biased and disingenuous. This is in reference to the CBI question we were just discussing. If they are investigating, they should just do so, period. No free pass. Especially since it's Drew who has signed the majority of CORs to date and in under 2 years. Yes, that's the thing I was thinking. It seems odd to me. If you're going to be doing it, just do it for everyone. I have another comment here. Jamster, I'm responding to the question you said that you put out on Facebook. The low attendance at the independence celebrations does reflect the way that the people feel about the government. The first independence celebration after the Labour Party took government had a great attendance because there were a new government and people were giving them a chance to prove that they are going to do better. The people now realize that they have made a big mistake electing them. These are selfish people. Look at what they did. Kick thousands of the most vulnerable people off the PAP program and then increase their own salaries by 35%. The people are vexed and disappointed with this government. So that's a commenter from the wall there. And a lot of interesting comments. Let me see if I can go back and read some more. Jay Black is a little busy at the moment. I had another comment from earlier. It says, if the Republicans say 20,000, this was referring to a conversation we were having earlier. If the Republicans say 20,000 Haitians have been dumped in that town, then Trump says that the immigrants in that town are eating dogs. Who is he referring to? This guy in the studio can't be serious. Oh, they're going off on J Black. And from Carlisle Pirates, it's amazing how the public can be socially engineered into a behavior pattern that isn't healthy or good for society, but it's popular. What's your take, Island Tea? Okay, so pretty interesting. All these issues, and yes, it has to be said that concerning this this CBI issue, why is the investigation not? Why isn't it covering the CBI thing in total? I mean, are they saying that the current labor government is perfect and above the law, above reproach, inviolate? I mean, I don't understand. Caller, go right ahead.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. How are you doing?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, JB.
He's here.
He's not there?
He's here. He's just busy rapping with the farmer. Go ahead.
Oh. Yesterday I heard on another radio station, maybe it could have been with FM News, that the opposition leader was saying, Lucha said, along with 4 other countries, they're going to take action against Galaxy.
That's in St. Lucia?
Yeah.
Okay.
He said the other 4 other islands, they're going to join together to put a joint thing. But I say, he said he spoke to Philip Martinez.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to support the man. Now I said to myself, you see how we just cut our own throat? Nobody concerned about and in relation to the prison project, they would have already sold shares for it. So are we ensuring that it is completed? That's one of the question I want answered. All right then.
Okay, but what did you hear my question about the investigation that the DPP opened on
who?
On the CBI program?
I tell you, that is part of the same thing what the man talking about.
Yeah, I know, but then why do you think that the investigation only...
It's politics. Look, when you live in this country, everything is politics. Now, when they set a trap for one man and then they get caught in it, what are they going to say? They have got, you see, there is a certain style of the Labour Party. I could tell you about them. In 1995, they carried out this investigation, commission of inquiry. There was one aim, was to create such kind of distrust and everything, to increase their popularity. So right now, many people are a bit hesitant about their support. So they have got to draw attention away from themselves by trying to rescue somebody else. Because the truth is, when they throw the net with the CBI, they're going to catch some of the old fish. The same saying that they'll catch gathers, catch sprat. You understand?
Yeah.
So if the CBI, if we do our work to do, we want to know if anybody does the work of auditing the reports that are filed with him on the integrity of public life. By the thing is happening in Jamaica now.
Mm-hmm.
People asking Andrew Hollis to step down. We don't even know what kind of problem he faced. Has they appointed a person to oversee it?
Well, I don't know because not following that close. I'm just following
if
generally.
We want work to do. If we want work to do, we are not here to work for. It should be our own interest. Whatever concerns us, we do it by ourselves. I mean, I say enough. You can't call somebody's name. This is a conspiracy. A conspiracy against people which in fact will hurt the country. We cut in our own throat. We cut in our own throat. So they want to have a thing, and then what happened to Dr. Joe? He signed, you know. Dr. Joe is an intelligent man. Before he signed, he heard that there was a problem, yet he went ahead and signed. So he's part of it. All right then, God bless this country.
Okay, great. So yeah, Jay, I was just reading. I had read the SKNIS release concerning the DPP opening opening investigation into the CBI, but which oddly enough doesn't include the present administration.
Okay.
Very strange. Voices. I'm saying voices. Island T, go ahead.
You might as
go
well
ahead.
Voices at this point.
Hey, go ahead.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
With regards to your question, Jamster,
Mm-hmm.
about the DPP,
Mm-hmm.
it's provocative.
Mm-hmm.
When I say provocative, in a good way.
My question is provocative.
Really and truly, the DPP is supposed to be independent.
Exactly.
And first of all, I'm not so sure that it should have been an announcement from the DPP office as opposed to sounding like a government, an official government announcement, because you have to ask who decided on the scope of the investigation.
Why was the
time slot selected? Shouldn't, if for context alone, to me it should be an open-ended investigation from the inception of the CBI, because we citizens knew very little about it from its inception, okay, right up until the current time, right? So that we get an idea of timelines, context, everything, all right, and not this kind of targeted thing, because that is what it seems like. It's a target. It's targeted for a certain time period when we know in fact that one, it did not start.
Okay, let me take another call. Okay, great. You can. Yeah. Caller, go right ahead.
Yeah. Good morning, Johnson.
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah. I tend to agree with that lady caller there, with her comments. You know, this is just politics as usual, man. The part of it that she said that St. Lucia opposition is taking a step, our prime minister already doesn't know that. You know what I mean? And who I believe I saw an article where the Prime Minister himself directed this investigation into the CBI. I stand corrected. But I think I saw an article saying he initiated it, not the deputy himself. And why they waiting so long? The thing what's messing up these guys is we don't have the transparency. We don't have the transparency at all. But Dr. Drew, he signed, like the caller just said, he signed over 20,000 certificates for passports. So who are they really going to be investigating? You know what I'm saying? Just think about it for a minute. Who are they trying to investigate? Themselves? One other thing, let me interject. Every individual agent that was selling these passports, they maybe need to bring the information forward as to how much passports each individual agent sold over the tenure. Whether we're going to go back 40 years or what. We need to get them stats, man. Thanks a lot.
Okay, great. Yeah, okay. So, Jay, yeah, we got 5 minutes. There's another comment here. It's supposed to be independent. You hear the operative word, supposed to be. We all know that is not the case. Interesting. Anyway, you joined before. I always used to tell Azad and Cortencia. I just get exhausted with having to always have to be. I get exhausted having to deal with the way the country is run. Let me put it that way. And the way politics just consumes everything and taints everything. And
morning, guys.
And yes, go ahead.
Aren't we tired of these so-called investigation, the farm investigation to investigate that investigation that never yield anything? I mean, as citizens, we should be so tired and weary of these special investigations will never amount to nothing. Where is the Billy Herbert case report? We still have years now when we have not get that report. Please, we need that. We're tired of these investigations. And like the person said, they're going to investigate themselves. Just a bunch of nonsense. Yeah, this case what they have with Rico got them all up a gum tree. But I hope a lot of them get exposed. Because now you hear somebody mention Andrew Holness in Jamaica. The man have 28 bank accounts with millions of dollars on them. Some of them all in his children's name. These Caribbean leaders, they all need to be exposed. They are crooked and wicked. Have a good day.
Okay, let's take another call. Island T, go right ahead. 3 minutes until 10.
Yeah. Let me make one last point quickly, man. The banks also knew about the underselling, and they went along with it. So let me go figure that out.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, just saw the comment. Yeah. There's a comment here by David Solomon. You asked JB if they had any comment on the question you had put out on Facebook. He said that no comment. Why are people afraid to talk about local situations and politics in this country? That's the question, isn't it?
Man, Fred, if I don't understand all the moving parts, I don't have any comment on it. That's just pretty much it. I feel like people tend to speak on things that they don't quite understand. And yes, there are questions to be asked. And this is what a lot of the propaganda machines tend to do. They tend to take advantage of questions. And I don't want to indulge in such practices, especially on a credible news station such as Win FM, which is why we encourage you, the callers, to come on and give your opinions. Of course, give us the tea, as we say, so that we can, of course, dispute and do our research and then come back. Caller, you're on the air.
Yes, with all due respect to you, sir, that's a cop-out. That's an excuse. And I don't know if you consider yourself a journalist.
No, I don't.
Or you don't?
Yeah.
Okay.
That should have been the first question.
What do you consider yourself as then? If you
a
are going
host.
to be appearing on something like hosting a show like this, right? Don't you expect citizens, ordinary citizens, to ask questions if they are not given information from the outset?
Well, this is why I just said we encourage the callers to call in and, of course, voice their opinions and, of course, give us the tea so that, of course, we can do our due diligence and research and we can come back with the facts. And I quote again, and I say again, reiterate and reaffirm the facts. So,
but you are also supposed, in a position like this,
yes,
to ask pertinent questions. Otherwise, you'd never.
Were you listening to the last interview, caller?
Which last interview?
The last interview with the farmer. Were you listening?
I was listening to parts of it.
Parts of it, okay. Now you're addressing me based on something that you think is the case, but
no, I'm addressing you on what you said.
Right, what you've heard I said, but you don't have all the facts, because if you were listening to the last interview, caller, respectfully, you would have heard that I asked the farmer pertinent questions in regards to what he was talking about and the issues that the farmers have. The government was also mentioned in said conversation, and he did divulge some information, of course, but I asked him questions to find out what is the issues or the concerns of the farmers all throughout the island. So, of course, as a host, not a journalist, I still do ask questions. But again, there are lots of things. Again, we spoke about the CXC situation this morning. We indulged the caller on that maybe 1 or 2 days before, and we came back with the facts, right? I cannot indulge anybody on speculation. I can ask questions as to get the full story as to why they say certain things. But a lot of it is because...
Yeah, but Jebby, listen, it is not speculation to say that this investigation is going to exclude the present government's tenure. That is not speculation.
No, but
that
again,
is a fact.
Again, it is an investigation, which means they're asking their own questions.
My question is wondering why that is the case. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, I addressed in the caller, and
this is why
basically calling me a couple. No, I ain't gonna accept that.
This is why,
respectfully, caller, we appreciate you calling in.
This is why I find this is why I find our politics exhausting, because it doesn't seem like anything ever changes. Right. So sometimes, you might as well just hush and don't say anything, because
don't come after me, dog. You're talking to the powers that exist.
We gotta leave
talk
it there.
To them. Yeah, talk to them.
We gotta leave it there.
I ain't gonna solve the problem.
Okay, Jay, have a great day.
Yeah, bless up, Jamston.
Tomorrow. Yeah, let's not get any gray hairs over this stuff, you know. Okay.
Oh, I've got this feeling to high five the sun, dance in the rain, and have my scoop of fun. I'm on my way to flavor my day with something new, and I've got room for you. Let loose and live a little, get close and share a